Destiny, Qadar, or divine decree, is a concept in Islam that addresses many profound questions. However, it is often misunderstood with inquiries like, is destiny forcing us? Or is it unfair or oppressive? In truth, Islamic scholars have long emphasized that destiny never coerces, never practices injustice, and never contains ugliness. Rather, it reflects the perfect justice and infinite wisdom of the Almighty. When discussing destiny, we must first consider free will. God Allah granted human beings the conscious power to choose, setting us apart from other creatures. This will can direct us either to good or to evil, and thus we bear responsibility for our choices. If a person commits a crime by following their lower desires and misusing their willpower, claiming it was my destiny does not exonerate them. For instance, eating is a vital need, and Allah has made it both beneficial and pleasurable for us. But if someone overeats to the point of harming themselves, it makes no sense for them to say, "Why did Allah create food since I got sick?" The sickness results from their own lack of moderation. This example demonstrates the harmony between destiny and human free will. Destiny encompasses both causes and outcomes at the same time. We, with our limited vision, only see the outer appearance of events and judge them as they unfold. Destiny, however, fully knows what precedes and follows, every hidden cause and every possible result. Hence, what may appear cruel or unjust to us might in fact represent ultimate fairness. Labeling a mother's scolding of her child as wrong, based solely on appearances, would be hasty, as the mother might be protecting the child from greater harm. Likewise, destiny observes all layers of existence and delivers a just verdict according to a balance that escapes our narrow viewpoint. Sometimes we see similar examples in the animal world or among humans. We might feel sorry when a hunter kills an animal, unaware that the animal once caused serious harm to someone else. Later, the hunter might suffer an injury of his own, as though paying a debt for what he did. While we only see a small piece of the puzzle, destiny comprehends the entire picture, and each individual receives precisely what they deserve, with complete precision and justice in the eyes of the Almighty. Thus, the beauty of destiny is not measured by our limited perspectives, but rather by the subtle standards found in Allah's absolute knowledge. Some hardships, disasters, or losses may initially seem cruel. However, they can end up refining us, sheltering us from worse outcomes, or serving as spiritual trials that benefit us in the hereafter. Even unanswered prayers can be blessings in disguise. Perhaps what we desired was harmful, or Allah has reserved a far greater reward for us later. Our limited minds cannot always grasp this, but in His infinite power and knowledge, Allah arranges everything in the wisest manner. Allah, being the absolute sovereign and the all-knowing, also acts as the all-wise. We might not perceive the wisdom behind certain events because our perspective is so narrow. Even so, Allah's work is never meaningless or random. Therefore, our task is to believe that destiny embodies absolute justice and beauty, to use our free will rightly, and to accept responsibility when we err. To say, both your kindness and what appears to be hardship are welcome, in a spirit of surrender and faith, unlocks destiny's hidden doors and grants us peace. In every circumstance, Allah offers directions that lead us to true benefit, provided we notice and interpret His signs correctly. The God Allah's decree is never tyrannical. Rather, it is a flawless scale hidden deep within the workings of the universe. We need only use our entrusted free will wisely, remain patient through hardships, and place our trust in Him. The grand plan we call destiny is far more detailed and comprehensive than our limited intellect can encompass. Precisely for this reason, putting our confidence in Him and accepting His decree is at the core of being a Muslim. Trusting Allah, consenting to His destiny, and doing our utmost in every situation. So, why didn't Allah make all people the same? Why are some people born blind, while others are poor? Imagine, if you will, a master craftsman who skillfully shapes precious items from raw materials. Because these materials are his to begin with, he chooses how each piece should look and function. No one can justly object, why did you not craft them all the same? Since the Creator alone decides the shape and purpose of His work. In a similar but infinitely higher sense, Allah is the owner of all existence. Nothing in the universe precedes Him or has any right over Him. Before he created you, you did not exist. Hence, you did not provide Allah with anything that would entitle you to demand a specific form or condition in return. He brought you forth from absolute nothingness, bestowing upon you not only life but also the elevated status of being human. If someone were to say, "Why am I missing a limb? Why did he not make me perfectly healthy?" The underlying premise would be that they are owed such perfection, yet they had no claim to begin with. No exchange has taken place where they paid Allah for certain features. Thus, from a logical perspective, there is no payment missed or right withheld. Sometimes we observe certain people losing an arm or suffering from blindness. These losses might seem, at first glance, unfair. But consider that Allah may, in exchange, grant them unique spiritual gifts or even greater reward in the afterlife. In a worldly sense, a missing limb looks like a subtraction. In a wider, eternal context, it could be a doorway to deeper faith, heightened empathy, or nearness to the divine. If the outcome leads them to rely more on Allah, the resulting spiritual elevation may far outweigh that physical loss. Imagine only seeing a single frame of a lengthy film. We might misinterpret the story entirely. Similarly, we may witness a hardship, a child born with a disability or someone losing a fortune, and assume it to be senseless suffering. Yet from an Islamic lens, Allah's knowledge encompasses not only this moment but also the past, the future, and all hidden causes. His plan takes into account every dimension of benefit or harm, immediate and ultimate, physical and spiritual. Our limited perspective often cannot detect these hidden layers of justice and purpose. If everyone were identical, uniformly healthy, equally wealthy, never tested, there would be no space for qualities like compassion, generosity, patience, or resilience to emerge. The variety of circumstances in life becomes a theater for moral and spiritual growth. Some cope with disability, others with poverty, still others with wealth or success. Each set of conditions brings its own challenges and possibilities for excellence in character. Logically, this creates a broad stage on which virtues can be nurtured, tested, and proven sincere. A person might respond to hardship with bitterness or cynicism, insisting that this is unjust. However, if we walk through the logic above, no prior claim, a bigger picture that includes eternal life and opportunities for moral growth, the complaint lacks substance. It is more rational from the Islamic perspective to see one's trial as part of a grand tapestry where even harsh colors contribute to a more beautiful design. Accepting divine wisdom does not mean refusing to better our situation, but recognizing that not all losses are truly negative in the final accounting. In essence, the Islamic argument balances logic and faith. Our condition, healthy or otherwise, is not a right withheld, but a portion of divine artistry that factors in both this life and the next. There is no prior exchange in which we merited a specific design. If we embrace the broader perspective that includes eternity and the moral development of the soul, we find reason to trust that what seems imperfect or painful may actually be a well-placed piece in a perfect whole, orchestrated by the one who owns us all.